Have you ever felt that your prospect might be lying to you, but you're just not sure? This is actually one of the most common challenges that salespeople can have with prospects. In fact, the data suggests that buyers often do not trust salespeople. So as a result, they're inclined to lie to them, almost as a defense mechanism. Now, this may or may not be your fault, since studies show that over 2/3 of salespeople are poor or below average. Those folks are bringing the opinions of all salespeople down with them, like a sinking ship. So this means that you need to be prepared to spot lying prospects when you come across them. Not necessarily to call them out, but rather to know that the information that you're receiving could actually be pretty compromised. In this video, I'm going to show you 5 ways that salespeople can tell that their prospect is lying. Check it out. Number 1, inconsistent story. If you're good at asking questions of your prospects, you'll be learning a lot about them, particularly during that discovery process. And for many different reasons, your prospect may decide to lie to you. So the easiest and most reliable way to spot a lie is to start to notice the inconsistencies in their stories. Now, if you're paying close attention, this is going to be pretty easy. For example, they may tell you 2 incompatible numbers. There may be details that simply just don't really add up. Simply note it in your notes, and if necessary, ask them about the discrepancy, but in a very non-aggressive way. Say something like, you know what, George, I really appreciate your saying that, but you mentioned that revenues were X and profits were Y. Is that correct? Number 2, a break in eye contact during the telling of an important detail. Now, this one requires that you're actually paying really close attention to your prospect. But if you do, then it can be very noticeable. Now, most humans will avert their gaze when they're telling a lie. It's just natural because they're likely hiding something by lying. Most people aren't naturally good poker players for a reason. So pay very close attention to a prospect's eyes when they're telling you important details. Of course, be willing to break eye contact throughout the conversation. You don't want to just stare right into their eyes the whole time, but notice a sustained look away that would be like this. Number 3, hyperbolic language. When people use vague but hyperbolic language, and by that I mean exaggerating language, it's usually covering something up. You don't have to go far to find this in the media, for example. You'll notice that when politicians are being interviewed by someone on a news show, they'll often use really hyperbolic, excited language, but they're not really saying much of anything. And this is the same thing in sales. Just imagine that someone says, yes, last year our sales numbers blew up, and now we're crushing it. That's pretty vague and at the same time over the top. So when prospects do this, simply seek clarification and get more specifics. Again, nothing confrontational. Just say something like, you know, when you said your sales numbers blew up, what does that really mean specifically? Number 4, qualifying statements. You know, George, to be honest with you, I haven't really looked into this. Or, Karen, to tell you the truth, we're really busy right now. Or, Dan, if I'm being honest with you, or Mark, I've got nothing to hide. Statements like this are very commonly red flags for lies. Whenever you hear people start a sentence or a phrase with something that sounds like, to be honest, be guarded. Because it's likely that whatever comes out after that is not entirely the truth or could be completely inaccurate. Always pay very close attention to the language that people are using when they're starting important statements. Number 5, positivity with an unwillingness to schedule a next step. One of my first mentors used to always say that the most dangerous prospect is actually the positive prospect. Be guarded with these people. These people will stroke your ego. They're going to tell you how great you are and how all they really want to just figure out is how can we just start doing business together? Then they ghost. Be very weary of prospects that are positive, but at the same time vague in terms of having a clear next step. Notice if they push back when you try to schedule some kind of a next step. Always try to get commitments from these people for next steps. And by the way, always try to get commitments from every prospect, as a side note. But these people in particular, because if they refuse or they push back or they're kind of slippery, then watch out. So there are 5 ways salespeople can tell their prospect is lying. And if you enjoyed this video, then I have an awesome free ebook on 25 tips to crush your sales goal. Just click right here to get instant access. Seriously, just click right here. Also, if you got some value, please like this video on YouTube because that really helps me out. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking right here to get instant access to a new video just like this one each and every week.